Extremely good on Caitlyn, so both of those getting taken out, and CLG again with Shen and Nocturne. They just don't want to play Nocturne. And what? Blaze banning Urgot. Very interesting choice there, seeing as how you would have expected that ban to come from CLG, as Urgot did very well last time, but we've seen CLG run Urgot before as well.
If they're banning Urgot is really, really strong against non-escape AD such as Misfortune and Kog'Maw. There's a high chance that Blaze is planning to run a non-escape AD such as Ashe, Kog'Maw, or Misfortune.
Yeah, with CLG also being on the purple side, that also does eliminate some other strategies like giving Urgot the blue buff really early on.
And there goes the first
allowing him to hold.
CLG is in for a really, really bad time again.
Oh no, they did ban out Mundo. I'm going to pick Mundo to keep it from CLG. And CLG, they used their last ban on Ryze. Maybe they're planning on running Lulu mid again, and they want to make sure they counter that. We're going to see CLG has the next two picks.
Yeah, with the expectation that Blaze would want to get Mundo if it's available, why do you think CLG actually banned out Nocturne so early?
I really don't understand the Nocturne pick, as Blaze doesn't play that much Nocturne, and they haven't even played Nocturne in a tournament, so I just really don't know what CLG is going with the Nocturne ban.
Maybe it's something where they didn't want, I don't know, they didn't want the ability to, sometimes Nocturne can kind of half split push if it's top mid or something like that. They may have had some specific strategy that Nocturne would interrupt, but they do go with Lulu and Kennen actually.
Finally getting the champion that they constantly banned out to keep other teams from getting it. So maybe actually the Nocturne ban was more of a psychological pick to encourage Blaze to get Mundo, allowing CLG to pick up Kennen and Lulu as their second and third pick.
They picked up Kennen and Lulu, but they okay, so All-Star does really well versus Kennen. Once Kennen goes in, All-Star can just knock him away. And also they left open Jaina, and Jaina's also a really good counter to Kennen, and I don't think Kennen's going to do that much this game versus All-Star.
Interesting, but they do also pick up Graves, so Captain Jack looks like he's going to get his favorite AD carry this game after all. Does not get that denied from him. Who is CLG going to pick up next? They have Lulu, who, we're still not sure at this point if Lulu is going to be going mid again or if Lulu is going to be the support this game, and that may be part of their strategy by picking Lulu up early, is that then they can keep Blaze a little bit confused as to which strategy they're going for. Kennen is very likely going to be top though regardless, and are we going to see a Vayne pick?
Vayne is actually a really good pick versus Graves. Graves' buckshot has a really long animation, and Vayne can easily tumble out of it. And double lift, really good, known for his Vayne, really, really known for his Vayne. But if an All-Star gets off a proper WQ combo, and then Graves uses his full QR combo, Vayne is just going to instant die. And with Lulu, it's okay. They can dominate the lane somewhat early game, but once it goes to level 6, Graves and All-Star are going to have such an edge at bottom. And the Maokai pick versus the Mundo pick, Maokai, one of the slower junglers. Mundo is going to be able to clear his jungle really, really fast, and maybe even do an invade versus Maokai.
Ooh, whoa. We might see a twisted fate here, and Talon is in the mix as well. Are they going to lock in Talon?
Loves his Talon. Phantastar really known for his assassins, and he's going to get to play one of his favorite champions.
Nice.
And Talon's a really, really good pick versus Kennen at top. If Talon plays properly and doesn't get hit by any of the Kennen's Qs, Talon can get a solo kill very, very easily. And with the TF support, it's going to be so easy to get a kill for top. Hotshot's going to have a really bad time at top lane once again.
Yeah, CLG still has the opportunity to mix this up a little bit, maybe put Kennen mid, Lulu support. But yeah, probably not. Big Fat's going to need to decide which mid he's going to need to use against Twisted Fate here. And if he's not able to dominate his lane, CLG and the top lane's going to have a bunch of trouble. Lulu and Vayne, like you're talking about, going to be a little bit hard later on in the game.
Big Fat GG does play AP Kennen mid, so I think it'll be really, really good for CLG if they pick up a different top. Yes, this is what they needed to do. Send Gangplank top to counter Kennen, or counter Talon, and send Kennen mid, and I'm so glad CLG is going with this pick. If they just... Oh my god. Hot shot.
They switched over to Cho'Gath.
This is actually okay. Cho'Gath does okay versus Talon. He can't stop Talon from farming, but Talon can't stop Cho'Gath from farming either.
Right.
But Talon will do so much more in a team fight than Cho'Gath if they're both allowed to farm. You need to stop Talon from farming.
All right, so that's how it's going to be, and that was a really cool CLG taking that early Lulu, they were able to say, all right, you know what? this Lulu can go top, she can go mid, she can go support. We're going to keep you guessing, and then we'll be able to have our last pick adapt our earlier pick to what we want it to be. So, like you were just saying, exactly. So now they can say, all right, well, we'll send Cho'Gath top and send Kennen mid instead. So your counter pick has just been, well, not countered, but we'll send something up there that you're not expecting, and it'll do a lot better than you thought it would. So very cool move by CLG. Can they bring it to a win, though, to bring it to an ace match? Here at the top lane, we're going to have Talon versus Cho'Gath.
Very even in the first game, but we'll see if that comes true. Even if they go even in CS, it's going to be a little bit in favor of Talon going into the later game. So Hotshot's going to really need to pull out his really powerful Cho'Gath in order to keep it strong for the rest of this.
This is why Kennen is such a good pick. You can send him AP mid, you can send him AD top, you can even send him AD bottom. He can go all 3 lanes.
That's true.
CLG picked Kennen up really early, and they were really flexible with where they send Kennen.
That's actually true. Along with Lulu, Kennen also very, very flexible, so that's cool. And we're going to see Twisted Fate versus Kennen in the middle. That's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. And Graves versus Vayne in the bottom. Both champions that have a relatively low range, that kind of have to get up next to you, get up close and dirty in order to do their damage.
And both champions that these two players are extremely comfortable with. Captain Jack's been playing a ton of Graves in this tournament. Double Lift, obviously known for his Vayne as well. Vayne with Lulu can be extremely strong. We'll see how that actually synergizes. Alistar with Graves, of course, is going to be a scary, scary combo.
This game's going to be really up to Double Lift to carry. Vayne is... She's in a spot where she can carry as long as she doesn't get hit by the All-Star CC. If she can make it out of the laning phase without getting denied so much CS, she'll be in a good position here.
All right, let's get into the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, MiG Blaze versus Counter Logic Gaming. Game number 2 is about to get underway. Everything on the line here for CLG. They need to win this game in order to stay in this tournament. MiG Blaze hoping to close it out with the second win of the series. And MiG Blaze is going to be the blue at the bottom left of the map. CLG is going to be sporting the red in the top right. And this game, neither team, well, actually, I changed.
We do actually see MiG
very
aggressive summoner spells. 3 ignites, 2 exhausts, able to do a lot of damage level 1. So if they do actually get into a position to pull off any of CLG, they will be able to kill them very, very quickly.
And CLG going with the top lane, bottom lane swap, as Cho'Gath is a very good 2v1 laner and Talon isn't. And MiG Blaze has a really strong level 1 comp right now with All-Star stun and TS stun.
Could they be sending Vayne solo top?
I don't think so. Vayne isn't that good of a solo versus an assassin like Talon. I'm pretty sure Lulu will go along.
Yeah, I have seen Vayne do really well against Bruiser's top, but you're right. Talon's gap closing ability and his burst probably going to do very well there. So very, very interesting, and I'm curious to see if we're going to have Blaze just try and deal with it and have 2v1, 2v1, or if they're going to try and switch the lanes up a little bit and try and switch Talon to the bottom.
Because it's All-Star Graves, we might actually get a kill on Cho'Gath if they play the lane properly, so we'll see how Blaze does. And then with the swap from bottom to top, and on the purple side, you can start double golems on top, which is really nice for the top lane.
Oh, that's actually really cool, yeah. So
you also see Blaze grabbing the double golems on their side, so that's going to allow Mundo to be a little bit more aggressive.
Oh no, the red buff Lizard reset. It went back to its original location and healed up to full health. That's going to set him back a lot. It's going to mean he's going to come out of that red buff with low health, lower health than he wants, and oh no, oh, they weren't expecting 2 up here, and Fantasy Star almost gets picked off early on.
Double misplayed that. If he was up with Lulu, he saw Tasker standing there. They could have pressured Talon so much more than that, but Talon already went back, and they're trying to swap the lane. So what bottom lane's doing right now with Captain Jack and Lustboy, they're pushing out the lane so they can do a lane swap. And Fantasy Star also already going bot. So what CLG needs to do is push top as hard as possible and also swap. So it's Talon versus Lulu Vayne again.
Yeah, we do see Mundo coming in to make sure he gets a lot of these last hits on these minions so they don't lose anything on their team. Lulu's going to be stuck up top, so I don't know if she's going to be able to soak up any of those last hits. She's going to need to switch very, very soon. Cho'Gath is actually staying in the bottom lane a little bit too long here, so going a little bit in favor of MiG Blaze if they can get this swap done quickly.
It's interesting. We've actually seen this before. I don't remember which game I saw this in where there was this swap happen, and there was actually like 3 or 4 or 5 swaps where one team would swap and the other team would swap, and they kept going back and forth, each team trying to gain the more beneficial matchup in the lanes. But we do have, for the moment at least, Fantasy Star soloing on the bottom here against those two, but I don't think he's going to be able to stand up too well to that double if he sticks around.
Yeah, Blaze is in a really good position. Talent, or really bad position. Talent versus Lulu Vayne is unlaneable.
Yeah.
And Vayne Lulu is not that favorable versus All-Star Graves, so it's so good for Double now that he gets a free farm lane because they're constantly swapping. And Cho'Gath with his WQ and passive, with his W and Q, he can easily farm the lane.
Now we see Maokai coming against Mundo. He's going to try to steal the raids, but nothing's going to be happening there as Twisted Fate's going to be able to come in and defend against that, just forcing St. Vicious to go back to his own jungle to send him home.
Talon at 2 CS, he's in a really bad position. He's going to need to constantly swap his lane. This isn't what Fantasy Star wanted at all.
Yeah. So Blaze, look, they did this again. They pushed the lane up really far so that they can try and switch their Alistair Graves back to the bottom again, but every time they do this, they spend some time where they have to walk back out to lane.
Every time they do this, Vayne is constantly farming. You want to stop a Vayne from farming as Graves, but you're not allowed to do that if everyone's constantly switching lanes. This is really good play by CLG, and this is what they're known for, switching lanes, split pushing, poking. This is one of their key strengths, and they're really playing to it.
Do a lot of Korean teams play this style? Is this something that Blaze is just not too used to playing?
MiG Frost is one of the teams that actually do this a lot, and they're used to this, but they're not dealing with it that well. Because when we do it, we take teleport on the top laner that's going to swap, which would be Cho'Gath right now, but Hotshot didn't. So Blaze was sort of faked out. They didn't think they would be doing the 2v1
Poor Fantasy Star. He's going to get jumped on in just a second. Oh, the Rupture misses. Oh, that would have been the death of him with 2 level 4 champs there. That would have been so bad. I think actually Maokai's level 4 as well, but the Rupture missed.
Yeah, and even if they stay in their lanes now, we do already see Vayne at 37 compared to Graves' what was 27, so almost 10 CS above the AD, and Cho'Gath's 26 compared to 6, so almost 20 up there. So even if they just left the lanes the way they are right now, it's still a really nice opening by CLG. However, they're only ahead by 0.4 gold, not anything crazy, but that's going to give them a little bit of flexibility to go for an early dragon if they do get the items that they need.
And it's so important for a Talon to get farmed to get his Bloodthirster and Brutalizer. If he doesn't get damage items, as an assassin, if you're not one-shotting a carry or a support, you're going to be really useless in a team fight. And Talon without items does okay damage, but Vayne is farming really well, and Lulu isn't that easy of a support to kill, so not looking that well for MiG Blaze.
Yep, even in the mid lane, Kennen versus Twisted Fate, it was a 1v1, and Kennen's ahead a little bit here. Neither of them have come back yet, but this is going to be...
It's going in for the kill. Ambition needs to get out of the now. No, he's not going to survive this. Helios is going to have to run as well. Can't quite put out enough damage to kill off St. Vicious. Very nice play by CLG. Yep. They really want to get that 3rd game.
Because Big Fat was able to get level 6 before Ambition, they were able to pull off that gank at the perfect timing. Really nice job for that first blood.
Ambition knew that gank was coming. He was already standing really far back in mid, but he wanted those little few creeps, so he came up forward to try-card, and then that timing, St. Vicious just went in for the flash W, and they got it.
Oh, the flash pulverize, headbutt pulverize on double lift, not quite able to do enough damage. Captain Jack is out of mana right now as well, so it's hard for him to spam his abilities. But yeah, we've all been there before where you're like, okay, I know I'm going to get ganked, I need to be, but let me just kill one more creep real quick, and then you die, and you're like, aw.
That never happens to me. What are you talking about?
Happens to me all the time, man.